Welcome.
Good morning. Another day in the shed. Haven't done a video for a while. Oh, that's good. Well, basically the weather's been rubbish, and I've been waiting for parts to turn up for building my next build. What I'm going to do, I'm building over here is a box folder, which I say there's quite a few box folders on YouTube, how to build it and stuff. What I want to do is a little bit different. Don't know if it's going to give me any extra capacity / usage. Just a little bit more unique than the other ones. Just to, I haven't seen one like it. I think it might make a good idea. I think it might have a bit more capacity for larger folds and stuff. So, gonna give that a whirl. As I just started laying out the material, try and work out what I've got to how I can build it, because I've only got a limited stock. I think it's 6 days before Christmas, so getting any more would be a bit of a nightmare. So I'm just going to try and use what I've got. So that'll be a box folder. And the other thing I want to try and make is a tri-roller for curving bars, steel, that sort of thing. So hopefully I'll have enough material left over to make that as well afterwards. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. We are talking about my new gadgets. Oh, I definitely need that this morning. We have got, maybe you guys can read that, digital readouts and linear scales. Ooh. Right, basically, as you guys might have seen a video that I haven't put up yet, I don't know, I might have put it up, I can't remember. I bought a mill and a lathe. Let's just turn around actually. So we can just talk about those. There we go. Is that better? You see them? Yeah. So, little lathe, Warco, cracking bit of kit. I say for the money, you can't beat it. It is a lovely little lathe. I think that's the 240B. I didn't go for a very speed in the end, mainly because of the added cost to start with, but how often do you need to change a lathe speed? Not really. It's not worth it. It's nice to have the little twiddly knob, but again, it's a lathe, runs at a constant speed. Obviously you've got different materials and different cutting depths and chip rates and all that sort of stuff, but just in general, actually I'll turn the light on, actually, it might help. There we go, see it a bit better now. So the little Warco lathe, cracking bit of kit. Had a little bit of chatter to start with, but that's just, you've got to strip it down, take all the sort of wax oil out of it, and just basically set it back up again with the guides without the wax oil in it, basically, because it was chattering a little bit to start with. I just used it out of the box, make sure the screws were tight and went for it. Yeah, that's been quite useful. Obviously I built the winch of doom, which is on the floor here, maybe using the lathe in the mill. So yeah, it all works fine. And then obviously we haven't used the winch yet, we haven't used the winch as its intended use, shall we say. But I'll put a link up in the top somewhere over there, or this side somewhere, I don't know. And so that's been used, that works well. The lathe's a piece of kit. So the mill, although it's a cracking bit of kit, I don't know if you guys have tried using a mill without a digital readout, or a DRO for the people in the know. It is a bit of a pain. So if we go, we've got obviously the little mill. I think that's the 16, and that's got a vary speed on it. Obviously the first thing I did was took the guard off it. Being an old school engineer, we don't need a guard. It needs to be on there. but we don't need a guard. I've added, let's try and zoom in for a little bit for that, shall we? Let's try and zoom in. Where's the zoom button? There it is. Let's get around a bit more. Oh my god. Is that better? Is that going to stabilise there? Might better zoom back out a bit now actually. There we go. So, I put a mist coolant on it. It's not proper water coolant. It has been used. There's chips all in the back there. Again, cracking little mill. Do like it. But trying to do any sort of engineering / slots, hole positions, it's just a nightmare trying to use the mechanical scales on the front. Yeah, that's kind of it. Obviously I bought a few tricky toys. I got the dial gauge, magnetic dial gauge. I bought a load of milling cutters. Plenty of toys for it. So I'm all ready to go on that. But yeah, not having a digital readout, it's just a nightmare. So back to the mission in hand. Let's zoom out a bit. There we go. Oh, my cup of tea's there as well, isn't it? That'd be good. Right, and here we go. So basically, just chop the top of the head off. There we go. Right then. So basically we're just going to do an unboxing and a quick look at. Oh, that's good. A quick look at what we've got in the box. So I suppose you could call this an unboxing video of a DRO. So that's a piece of tube. I think that's obviously the mounting arm. So I'm going to mount it on the wall, but it's going to be in between the lathe and the mill, possibly nearer the mill because it's obviously more useful. But obviously there is the. I'll show what I'm going to do anyway. I'll show you in a minute. But so that there has got a little teeny bit of damage on it, which is kind of annoying. But like I say, not really going to affect the use as long as the screen doesn't look like that. So that's a down mark. Oh, the other thing, because you've got it from a reputable supplier, shall we say, it comes with them blinking things. Because the plugs are, I don't know what sort of plugs those are. Chinese, European, I don't know, can't remember. But anyway. Oh my god. No. Don't know what that was. Phone has gone off. I'll put it back on silent. No, it's on silent. So. That just ruined that video. Not that it was anyway. So yeah, comes with them little plugs. Not the greatest, but again, as you'll probably see in a minute, I'm going to have to chop all these off anyway, so not really a biggie. So you've got the arm, cable, LCD digital readouts. Oh, that was a plastic cover for the unit. That's quite handy. Digital readout manual. Guaranteed that's going to be in Chinglish, but also it gives you, it's quite good. If you want to do a grid of holes, as like PCDs and space and all that, if I just try and find a white page, it should do it all for you. I say it should calculate it for you. It's not going to move the mill. Oh, where is it? I just saw it. Yeah, so if you wanted to do like a grid of holes or anything like that, on a funny angle or whatever, it'll actually tell you the positions and I presume the numbers light up or a light comes on or something to tell you you're in the right position for that particular hole you're doing, which is that's kind of quite handy, and it just shows how far they've come on really, because the ones we've got I've used for the last 25 years I suppose have just been literally a digital readout, and you need a brain and a calculator to work it out. So it just shows how engineering's coming on. This is the main bad boy. And before we get into that, let's have a look at these. So it comes with a couple of mountain brackets, a few mountain brackets out, and then that must be the wall bracket that goes on the wall. Again, it's cheaply made, but like I say, it's only a bracket, it doesn't have to be special. And this is the main unit. Looks the business. And you can probably see the rest of the shed on the camera. Look, there you are. You can see yourself. You're having a bit of a twilight moment there. So yeah, basically you've got the hole positions X, Y, Z, numbers, inches, ABS increment, absolute increment, X, Y, Z, enter, power on, power off. And again, this is not a driver. This is just a linear scale screen readout. So it's not CNC. Yeah, quite looking forward to using this, or at least getting it turned on to see what it looks like. So that's that box. Oh, and yes, more important, that's probably the most important part of this at the moment, is that, because obviously you will be using coolant, and I would make sure the whole lot is earthed. You'll see why in a minute. So let's get those out of the way. Let's get the box out. Stick that there. Right. So these are linear scales, and as you can probably see, you get another one of them. And the reason why you get another one of them is, I have no clue, to be fair. Oh no, sorry, I thought they obviously haven't really opened the boxes yet, but to get one of those in the box with a linear scale, you can only presume you've got 240 volts going to linear scale. But look at this. There is no linear. There is 240 volts, just a bloody great long cable. So I got one of them for free. Oh, it's going cold now. I have to speed up a little bit. So yeah, linear scales. And again, obviously you get the main linear scale, and you get a few of these aluminium extrusions, obviously a lot of mountain brackets and stuff you can use, and that's the guard to stop the coolant dropping down into the top. But obviously you're better off trying to fix these upside down. Oh god. There you go. 6:55. I need to get out of bed. I can't remember the last time I actually slept on my alarm clock. Yeah, so it's quite a nice extrusion, to be fair. Sort of rounded, not very, quite ergonomically pleasing, I suppose is the word. And so mountain brackets, bag of screws, and some nylon spacers and stuff in there. And this one should be the same. So basically a longer extrusion, bigger bracket, bag of screws, and then the linear scale. All quite nicely packaged, all anodised. Like I say, the real tricky bit is actually getting it onto the mill. Obviously this being a generic kit, it's going to be a little bit of a teaser, but what I'll do is I'll try and run through how I did it, and I hope it fits well, so we'll sort that out in a sec. Yeah, so that's pretty much all the stuff in the box. There we go. So yeah, I originally thought that was going to be have 3 of those to wire up, due to the fact that I've got given 3 of those, but yeah, only the one. I say that this sort of kind of waterproof bag, I suppose. I say you've got to be using it in heavy coolant environments for this, but or just mount it out the way a little bit, but. That's the back, and the front is all solid, so yeah, could be oh, it should be nice to keep it clean and tidy. It saves you, yeah, it fits on the bit, so not quite snug actually, not, it's quite good actually. Oh, I do like a snug fit. So yeah, that's the, obviously basically it's just a thing for it to protect it so you're not blowing off and getting moisture and stuff all in the screen, so that's going to stay on. Of course the other thing, as you've probably noticed, I've only got 2 linear scales, but I've got X, Y, Z. But I've only bought 2 scales. Well, the main reason I wanted to put 2 scales is the mill itself has got a digital Z on it already, so I don't need to worry about, it's obviously not on the screen, it's not going to tell me the whole positions, but it can't 3D mill anyway, so it's not CNC driven, so the Z's a little bit irrelevant, I suppose. It would be nice to have it, but it has got a digital readout for the Z on the front, so what I was going to use the Z for, obviously later, well, another little treat to myself possibly, is actually put the Z, plug it into the lathe, mainly because you can lose a lathe on the balls and stuff like that quite well with the digital scales, because they're just a lot better because they're on the handles. But the next, it's the, I don't know, so depth I suppose, or no, whichever way, it's the slide, that's it, slider. I knew what I meant in my head. The slider would be nice to have just a bit of digital scale on, just so you know how far you'll cut it in. That's the only one I've really found useful while using digital readouts on a lathe. All the other ones, I find just using the scale on the arms just a bit easier. Because they're all metric, so I'm just going to put later to have the Z-axis basically wired up to the lathe, so I can do that, I suppose, rather than actually, because I don't need it for the mill because it's got one. There's no point having 2 on the system. Excuse me. Another cup of tea. Alrighty, so going to start building this up. I'll do a few videos or pictures or whatever of actually fitting it to the lathe, because I don't quite know how I'm going to do it. I must admit they are a bit chunkier than I expected. They would be nice if they were a little bit smaller. Even if just like a third of the, let's say 2/3 of the size would have been nice. So I've got to work out how actually to get it on the mill. And yeah, good times. Better do some serious milling, shall we say. Excuse me. Right, I'm going to get on with that. You're going to do something for about 10 seconds till I flip over the video, and let's go from there. See you in a sec. Alright guys, back again. So I've mounted the digital readout actually on the wall here. I'm squeezing this corner with it, but basically, so I can get it tucked away. Let's get out of the way. So I can tuck it away against the wall when it's not being used. Then you can bring it out to use it with the mill. Obviously, windy, uppy, downy, milly. And then, obviously, once I get the other linear rail, I can bring it over and then use it on the mill, on the lathe, should I say. Obviously, it's only going to be the Z-axis, but it's going to be useful. At a later date I might add the other linear rails, but obviously I'll have to find some smaller ones first because those are way too big to go on here. Talking about that, the next problem is actually getting the linear rails on the mill. There's a little bit more space I'm doing down the back. Hopefully there's enough, so that's the next challenge. Let's tuck that out of the way, and obviously the cables, they got to be long enough, haven't they? They are quite long. It'll be fine, don't worry about it. Alright, quick update. Got the kind of adapter plate to go in there. Drilled 2 holes in for the rail and 2 holes that have drilled and tapped into the carriage. Just need to finish that off, tidy it up a little bit, counterbore the holes for the heads for the screws in there. Of course that's the one that's you're going to have the slide rail up against it, so they've got to be counterbored in. Bolt that to that, tidy it up, swing it around, and then you've got the other one to do. So we're getting there. See you in a bit. So right then, tidied that up. Nice little block to go on the side there. Counterbored the screws, or counterbored the holes for the screws. Now I've got to open those up just for clearance holes now, and yeah, that's ready to bolt on. Get it? Bolt on. Never gets old, that one. Okay, that should be ready to bolt on. No pun intended. Not that time anyway. Oh dear. Right. Let's get that on and see how she sits. Good length of screw out the back. So now I've got to try, and what I'm going to do is wind this right out the way so I can actually see what I'm doing. Because the next process I've got to make a little bracket up for the actual part that moves now. And a possible another build is going to be just motorising one end, so I don't have to do this 500 times a day. I said it's not going to be CNC, but at least it'll be power feed, so there'll be less of this 9 days of winding a handle. Right, let's pop that off of there. What I'm going to do is put the washer and nut back on, just in case I hit the threads with something. So there we go, that's that on. You can see the arm there now. Got the 2 screws ready. that's a little bit. Didn't pan on that. Top of the sliders, just hitting that yellow. Just hitting that yellow part there, the bottom part. So screw it on and see how close it is. Right, that's pinched up. And you're probably wondering why I've put it that way round, because it obviously moves. Yeah, there we go. Because it obviously moves. I'll tell you what, let's zoom in and talk about this. That one. Right. See that better? Yeah. So that's the slider. That part's going to be fixed to this. So as you can see, it's quite tight now at the moment because obviously it's hanging over far over that edge. But that's going to be fixed. And you won't be wondering why I've put the wire out the front. Well, the only main reason is because the counterballs are this side of this rail, not the other side. It looks to be sealed, so I didn't want to take the end caps off and turn them over. But if you think about it, you're going to need the slack there anyway. So the cable will basically do that and go out the back, but you'll need the slack there for the cable anyway, so you're not really gaining anything anyway. Basically, I've just got to make an L bracket now to go onto that piece, and it's actually hitting probably about 1 millimetre. So if at any point I've got to take that end cap off, I can just mill the bottom of that radius off a couple of mil, and no chance of hitting that. So it's the next part. It's going to be the bracket. Let's crack on with that. Okay, so I got a little bit carried away there, as you do. She's all fully fitted. Well, say fully fitted, as good as enough is for now. So I'm just going to run, obviously zoom in a bit closer and get inside her, as you like, just to see what I've done and how I've mounted it, just in case any of you other guys want to buy the same stuff, as it were. Should we let's do a switch on. Let's turn you around a sec. Right, so I still need to sort out this plug, because you've still got one of these daft, lighting's rubbish down here, it's daft one of them things. Oh, it beeps when she's on. Well, that was easy. I say I've still got to, let's have a look at the back of this. So this is the back, as you can tell. I still got to do them screws up, because I'm not too sure if they're the right way round at all on those. So I got the third one for the lathe when I get around to doing the axis on that. I still need to connect the earth, but that's been bolted to a wall. I can't see that being a problem anyway. I say the only damage really I found is that mark there, which is a bit annoying, but hey ho, it's not bad. So like I say, I need to tighten your screws up, sort the mount out. And I say it's been up there. Don't know what it's doing. Still can't. But so being up there, I can use it on the lathe, so I can bring that round like that. And of course, just use this main slide on there. I say it does rattle a little, but I need to bolt that one to the wall really, because say it's on a wooden floor. I filled the concrete with the floor with concrete in a previous video to take the weight of these things, but again it didn't, sorry, turn you around again, it didn't turn out not too bad, to be fair, but I say it still rattles a little bit, which I mainly think is it's not 100% solid floor, so I need to make a wall bracket to bolt it to the wall just to stop it rattling. But there's no vibration on the machine itself when when lathing, so I'm not too worried about it. So yeah, screen going to be around there, and it's quite good. I haven't really used any of the buttons yet, I'm sure. God, this lighting's rubbish, isn't it? So, don't know what all these buttons do. Hole pitch. Suppose you type in your radius. Let's say 80mm radius. Enter. Is it touch? No, it's not touchscreen. You got to move. Is there a down key or something? Looks like someone's got to read the manual. But yeah, it does all sorts of weird things. I'll say so it does. Let me see. Just moving the handles. X and Y. Yeah, it's got very fine adjustment, so that's going to be a bit of a godsend. So much better than doing it manually. Yeah, so I can actually use that properly. So I need to learn what I'm doing with that, because that's going to need the manual by the looks of it. So anyway, getting back to what I did down here. So this is the, I suppose, the Y dimensions. You've got, I've had to add this block here, 20mm square aluminium block. Basically that's bolted to that with some counterboard bolts. Then that rail is bolted to that, so just to give it the space in, to get a distance basically for this, to get the actual bit that does the gubbins away from that angle. The cable's tucked in like that. It's not going to be a problem because that bit doesn't actually move, it's this bit that moves. And a little aluminium bracket to hold that in place. As you can see, I'm moving. That base bit doesn't actually move anyway, so that cable's never going to move. Heavily fine and dandy. The back one, let's just wind it right out. Right, so I've got the rubber cover in here still. So the back one, let's get that out of the way. Let's turn you around so you can see. Right then, so the back one, where are you? Is that about as good as it's going to get? Yeah. Let's try this side. Might be better. No, it's pointing directly at the lights. So you've got, this is the bit that doesn't move. Where are you? There you are. So this is the bit that doesn't move, and that's the bit that's bolted basically to the back of the table, and then that just goes left and right, and obviously you've got the rubber guard to there. So that side I haven't actually taken off. Oh, bloody lights. So that side I haven't actually taken off the red sort of, I think they're travel brackets more, I think, so there's no stress gets on the cord that's inside it. And again, it's not really a problem. It only limits the travel a little bit, so I think I'm still a little bit got a bit of give in the travel, unless I use the table at the very ends, which I don't think I ever will, unless I'm doing like a engine head or something, skimming an old aluminium head or something. But for what I've got at the moment, obviously if I do need it, they are sort of bump stops as well, so they're not going to get damaged. It's not going to damage the kit at all. It's just annoying that I can't get that last 20mm of travel out the end of each end. So having said that, the lights in here is rubbish, and we'll best go and start reading the manual, I suppose. So I might do a little bit of an intro of how to use that little girl there, but yeah, so far so good. Can't wait to use it, to be fair. Actually get some proper machining done rather than guesswork. So bye for now, And thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Really got to sort my lights out now. This is rubbish. Every way you look. There. Just lights out. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you'll see more builds. Like I say, we've got the Winch of Doom. And I say I'm just making a box folder over on the bench there at the moment. Just laying out the materials just to see where we're going to go with that. And thanks for watching. So like I say, please subscribe if you like these sort of things. Me just yapping away in a shed. Every British bloke's dream, I suppose, is just nattering away in a shed to himself. Just me mad enough to put it up on camera. Anyway, bye for now. Oh, heat is on. Howdy guys, so I've had a bit of a play with the DRO, and I say a bit of a play, I've read the manual. It's in the usual Chinglish conversion, so I'm just going to do a quick run through of the couple of the options we've got, and I've now found a complete set of buttons. Well, it's the arrow keys basically, so we can actually use it. So yeah, let's go up across and have a go. It's a bit better. So what we've got, obviously over to the holes, you've got diameter, start angle, end angle, number of holes. So start and end angle, 0 seems to be over here, seems to go over to 0 here. So sort of 0, 45, 90, 180, 270. So if we go 20 mil diameter and then use these arrow keys, oh look, it jumps down. So in start angle and start angle will be the same. Number of holes, as you can see, it's put up 5 holes. You could have 8 holes. It would work it out. And then basically you press start and you see the 20 there. Once you've got the mil to say 0, so let's go across. So basically on the milling machine here, oh, this light is rubbish. Let's try that light. Is that any better? Yeah, it's a bit better. So if we move the mil, oh, wrong way. Basically say 0. Good game this. Getting it to say 0 on the first hit. There you go. So it says 0. You drill your hole there, and then you press next. And then you go to that position. Drill your hole. That position. Drill your hole. You can tell it's working. So from there to that side is 40 mil in the X. You've put in 20 mil radius. So you can see it's working without actually doing anything. And then you've got that position. That position said actually 2020. And then it says replace workpiece. Carry on. Brilliant. So X of that one. And then you've got this linear, 0 those again, linear distance. So again, you can do a group of holes. Bring it around, make it better. It's a little bit. So again, you've got distance, or I think the other one is length. So you've got, you know, the length from the end to end. Let's say 150. Yeah. Let's go now 150. So you know the length of the holes, and you want to divide that up by So now you know the angle. So 45 degrees is an easy way to check see if it's working. Put in 45. And the number of holes, let's say 8. No, oh man. There it goes. Clear. 8 holes. Enter. Start. So you're drilling the first one at 0, 0. Go to the next one. 15. Say you can see it moving up the scale. And obviously, being 45 degrees, both dimensions are exactly the same. And it will give you 8 holes in that line. Again, you can have it at any angle. Because that's going to save me a lot of time working out what the hell I'm doing. You got radius. Haven't used that one yet, but that one looks fun. Let's get to that one, and you got this one. I haven't sort of experimented with those two yet, but that looks like some sort of 3D inclination planing, going by the arrow or the button. Those two look like it's actually machining a curve, so you don't actually bite into the curve. So when you go over to the lathe, you can rough cut it on the mill, and then go over to the lathe, it'll be fine and dandy. And that just shows how chilly it is in here at the moment. That's why the camera's starting to steam up. On that note, so yeah, camera's starting to steam up, innit? Oh god. Anyway, so I'm going to leave you in this hazy mist. Just the camera. And going to go and turn the heater back on. Bye for now.